In the first five today, I just want to give short tribute to President Trump and his historic and really monumentally historic step into the demilitarized zone between North and South Korea. This happened just yesterday, Sunday, June 30th, and there's a little video I'd love to show you and then just talk about it for a moment. So here's President Trump entering the demilitarized zone and actually shaking hands again with the North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un.
Good to see you again. I've never expected to meet you at this place. If your Excellency take a step forward, you will be the first U.S. president to cross this line.
I wanted to play that for a couple of reasons. Number one, even when President Trump was candidate Trump and running to become president, as well as all the time he's been president, there's been endless mockery and derision and scorn and outrage and concern expressed by the American left and by the media about whether he could handle foreign relations. That, he's too blustery, he's not experienced, he hasn't worked in the State Department, he hasn't been a member of Congress or U.S. Senate, he doesn't have government employment history, and he really won't know what he's doing. Now, I have to tell you, folks, I value all of the input that scholars can put in. You have people experienced in Washington, they've worked with different administrations, they work with different countries around the world. I'm not saying their input has no value, but what you're seeing right there, whether or not you like or don't like President Trump, you're seeing leadership. You're seeing bravery, and you're seeing the impact, the outcome of President Trump's willingness to do things outside the box, to be a little bit bold. Past administrations have, of course, been, everyone feels in the world pretty much feels threatened by North Korea. They have, what a truly irrational leader, seemingly, Kim Jong-un. He's executed his own people for minor offenses. The people are starving. There's all sorts of horrible things there. And within the country, and the people within North Korea are suffering. But President Trump has decided and took on early the idea that he was going to try to move the ball forward to try to get to a better place with North Korea, hopefully to get them to pull back on what they've been trying to do, which is essentially to create nuclear weapons. What he has done, President Trump has done, is recognize that China really holds all the cards with respect to North Korea. China has pretty much control over North Korea, and China is the country President Trump has been focusing on in his trade negotiations, really saying to China, you know what, there's a new president in town, a new administration in Washington, and for the first time, I don't know how many decades, China, you're going to stop mistreating America in our trade deals. You're going to stop all of the theft of American intellectual property, the forced transfer of intellectual property. You're going to stop all the things that for decades negotiators, presidents on both sides, on either party, and negotiators advising them always said, well, you can't really fix that. That's just how China does things. President Trump, having none of it, is actually being forward-moving and bold dealing with China, which has gotten him around to the point to be able to have this particular interaction with North Korea. Obviously, the fact that President Trump is the first American president to step inside the demilitarized zone is historic. It's also obviously does not represent a solution to the entire issue, to all of a sudden, because President Trump has stepped in, hey, we solved everything. But it's a movement of boldness, and it's a movement of saying we're going to do things differently, and we're going to take on this guy, and to have a meeting set with President Trump and this North Korean leader to continue to try to work toward reining in a rogue regime is possible in part because of President Trump's willingness to do things, color outside the lines, do something different with China, be bolder with China, get China to the point. Maybe China is pressuring North Korea to say, you know what, don't mess with America. You got to get on the playing field here with the civilized countries. You got to move forward. So all I really want to say about it is I think that the American left and the media were quick to scorn, especially the one comment I saw, Tim Ryan, think he's one of the legions of Democrats running for president in 2020, had some comment. This was an outrage. This was terrible. He shouldn't have done that. You know what? The guy, President Trump, is trying to do something, trying to move the ball forward and showing boldness, leadership, and initiative. And I think that he should be accorded respect for that. And that, my friends, is today's First Five.